what would you say when you compare Stewart, Colbert, and Oliver?
I think Stewart is like the father of this genre.
Not Craig Kilborn in any way, just go
No.
right to Stewart.
I mean, I think pretty much everybody agrees that Stewart did something different with it than Kilborn did, and particularly making it more political. So I have all sorts of respect for what he has done, and especially as long as he has done it, which is a really long time, and to keep it sufficiently fresh that you still have people tuning in. That's a difficult thing to do, and I think we have various studies now showing that there have been positive effects of what he's done on The Daily Show. So that is how I would characterize Jon Stewart. Stephen Colbert, I just love him.
I do too.
This is totally like not academic analysis at all. He is such an amazing actor to keep on that character for so many years and never, like with like 3 exceptions, never break character.
You found 3 exceptions?
I haven't like actively looked for them, but like I feel like every once in a while there would be a little bit of a break. But that's got to be emotionally exhausting.
He's always so energetic when you watch those episodes, which I think is really amazing when it's, you know, late at night and you're sitting in your house watching him and he's jumping up and down, running to the interview. Somehow that would always make me smile.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, I mean, Stewart tended to be more cynical or skeptical in nature, but somehow Colbert was always, he acted like a little kid saying, now, talk about YA. Why is that a different genre? Is that just for adults that they can read? I mean, what is YA? And he says stuff that just offhand or, you know, says something that's so funny like that.
Right.
It's just so engaging.
And I think he seems to be maybe the smartest of all of them because of the way that he can kind of, I mean, think about how many live interviews he did over the years. Not live, right? Like they were live to tape or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the stadium's filled with people for practically most of them.
Right. And to be able to pivot on a dime when somebody answers the way you're not expecting them to or whatever and turn it into a joke or turn it into a new question, like that's, to me, a really difficult thing to do and something that you have to be really well-versed in lots of different things in order for that to work. I am a little terrified to see what's going to happen with him on CBS. Hopefully it'll be fine.
I think a lot of people are hesitant because he's not the character anymore, he's himself.
Right.
And I'm curious to see if he's going to end up becoming the character again, revert back, because it was so well liked.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's had a lot of time to figure it out, so hopefully they've done
They've had months to prepare him at this point.
And John Oliver, I think, is he brings a level of kind of detail-orientedness to the genre, which I think is fundamentally different in some of the ways that we've already talked about, right? So it's more investigative. It's more about creating a story instead of responding to a story. It's trying to talk about issues that people don't know about, which is usually the opposite of what the media does, and find a way to make those sorts of things relevant. I mean, people had no idea about, you know, the corruption of FIFA until he kind of blew it out of the water. The thing to think about with the 3 of them is, so you had Stewart, and he did something different than what had been done before, and he made it work. Mm-hmm. You had Colbert, who had been a correspondent on The Daily Show, gets his own show, and doesn't just make it Daily Show 2.0. He takes it in this completely other direction, which could have been a catastrophic failure, let's be honest. And makes it almost like it's almost like a mockumentary of political satire. And so takes it in a completely different direction. And then John Oliver, who had been a correspondent on The Daily Show, also decides, like, I'm going to do it. It's going to be a different format. It's going to be a different emphasis. It's going to be different topics. And all of them found their own way to make it work. And I think that is kind of illustrative. I feel like some of the things that have tried to just kind of duplicate what The Daily Show has done, and most obviously to me would be The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, have just not been as successful. Not that, I mean, I still watch the show, but it feels a little flatter.